Sup? How's everybody's day going? Not good for me, so let's just jump into this. We got taxes to pay, we got things to do. We got to educate you guys about taxes because you don't want to be caught off guard when you get hit with a big bill from Uncle Sam and you don't know how you're going to pay it. So we're going to go over it because the tax forms are available now for 2020, and unfortunately, we got to pay them. So we're going to have to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and jump right into that right now. But before we start, like and subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. If not, nothing I can do about it. So let's just jump right in. Today, market had a pretty weird day. Started the day off about 6,000 and finished actually up 1,000. Couldn't buy the dip, unfortunately, because we're trading our assets over to E-Trade. So we're waiting for that account transfer process. It's going to take about 5 business days, so we're not going to be able to trade till next Friday, which sucks, but oh well. But let's jump into taxes, because if you guys have made money this year, which I'm hoping a lot of you have made money this year, you're going to be paying some taxes. So I want to give a little example of this. This is not exactly how much I owe. I don't want to actually show mine just because there's a lot of personal info on there. But essentially, we made some money, so we're going to have to pay taxes on that. So how do we pay taxes? Let's see this. So we're going to go over to the income tax bracket, which is right over here. And we're going to see how much you're paying up front, because there's a lot of different brackets. There's the federal income tax brackets, there's state income tax brackets, and then there's stuff like short-term and long-term capital gains. So let's give a little example right here. Let's use this year, for example. Okay. We made $37,247 in the past year. Okay. How much are we going to have to pay on that? Well, looks like we are in the 12% tax bracket right there. Not bad. So already 12%. Okay. Now we got to add on where we live as well. Okay. I live in one of the worst states of all time, New York State. And I made between 21 and 80,000. I know, pretty big range. I'm not sure what this is, why it starts so small and then all of a sudden just, amps up. But, well, that's 6.33 right there. So already, we are already at about 20%. And 20% on 37,000 is kind of a lot. So let's just add that right there. So we have 37,247. We times that by 0.2. That's about $7,500 we're going to have to be putting aside for taxes. Now, there's other taxes as well. That is just ordinary income, okay? Which a lot of you guys are going to have to pay because you're doing short-term capital gains, okay? These are the two differences. Long-term is if tax on profits from a sale on asset held for longer than a year. I don't really have any of those. I haven't held anything for an entire year. So all my stuff is going to be short-term capital gains, which is the same as my tax bracket. So same thing as this 12% here and this 6.3% there. So essentially I'm paying 18.33% this year because my taxes are short-term capital gains. I don't have any long-term. Long-term capital gains definitely helps you guys if you're making a lot of money. So if you're making, you're in this tax brackets here in the 30%, plus you're living in a state like this and you're paying about 40% of your money in taxes, these long-term gains are huge on you because, potentially you're only paying 15 to 20%. Now that's huge, okay? Also, if you're married, that helps out a lot as well. If you notice, if we go over here and look at the married section, okay, you have to make a lot more to be in those tax brackets. So if we talk about this 32% tax bracket from 326,000, 163,000. That's a big difference right there. That is a big, big difference. So obviously you want to be married, but a lot of you guys are going to be single. So that's how you're going to be doing that. Now, dividends as well. Some of you guys are dividend tax guys, and I like that because I like dividends. I've actually gotten some dividends this year, and you have to pay tax on those dividends as well. And mainly dividends are just taxable income for most of them, but there's different types. There's qualified and non-qualified dividends. Non-qualified dividends are sometimes called ordinary dividends. You'll see that with like AT&T and stuff like that. The tax rate on non-qualified dividends is the same as your income tax bracket. So same thing as, this. You're paying however much you make. It's like a short-term capital gains, okay? And the rate for qualified dividends is, depending on your tax bracket, but it's usually lower because it's a cap of 20% rather than, sometimes you're paying about 50% if you're in the top tax bracket. We don't like to pay 50%. That's a lot of money. So if you're making a lot of money and you're getting your dividends, Hopefully they're qualified dividends because you're going to pay a lot less. So essentially, what you want to do is if you want to pay less taxes on your income, well, first off, hold a stock for a year if you want to pay less if you're making a lot. But if you're making under, I want to say about 150,000, then you really don't need to go for those long-term capital gains because it's going to be essentially the same price you're paying. And obviously, we have to pay our taxes. So hopefully, you live in a state where it doesn't have big tax. I'm currently in Florida right now, but unfortunately, I'm still technically a resident of New York State. So I'm going to try to get out of that as soon as I can because, I mean, look at this. It adds up. A little 6% right here, 6.5% is a lot of money. I mean, we talk 6.5%, you put that on $100,000, that's $6,500 right there. That's a new car, okay? Which could help me out because I'm on a bike and I'm kind of sick of biking around everywhere, but that's for a different topic. So the reason I really like selling options is because it's just taxed as ordinary income. It's just like if you were clocking at a job and you're making money there, or you're working at a business and you're getting a salary. It's the same thing. All right. You make $150 from selling a call on Apple. It's the same thing as if you work 10 hours at Walmart or Amazon and you got $15 an hour. Okay. You're paying the same amount on that. So that's a good thing about it. It's technically ordinary income and you're getting taxed the exact same on it. So a lot of you guys are going to have something called tax losses as well. And I want to go over tax losses because you can actually write those off. So let's say you made, some good money in your work this year, but you lost, a couple $1,000. You can actually write those taxes off. But there's a maximum that you can write off. I want to be exact. I'm pretty sure it's about 3,000 tax losses on stocks. You can actually see how much you can do. And yeah, it's about 3,000 per year you can deduct. So let's say you made $10,000 this year from your job, but you lost $5,000 in the market. Okay, you can write off $3,000, so you're only paying tax on $7,000, and that can roll over as well. So you know how we said you lost 5,000? Well, then the next year you have that 2,000 off. So let's say you make 2,000 in the market, it offsets. You don't end up paying taxes on that. So it's pretty cool because, like I said, you can roll it over. Unfortunately, I think it's pretty stupid that you can only write off 3,000. I mean, there's no cap to how much you can make on stocks and pay taxes on, but there's a max on what you can write off. So, it's just very annoying. Nice. It's pretty annoying to see that, and you have to also realize that that's the way it is. So you have to pay your taxes, otherwise you're going to go to jail. So it's something to do. It's something to think about. And I definitely recommend you guys, take a look at that, add it up, and put some money aside because unlike a job, they're not withholding any money. So like I said, I have to come up with $7,500. I don't have that much money yet. Am I just sitting around in my bank account? So I'm going to have to find a way to do that. So probably I'm going to sell some options, get that premium, and then just put that premium straight into my bank account. So I'll have enough money to pay my taxes coming up this April. So I hope this video helped you guys out. I hope it gave you guys a sense of how much you're going to have to pay. Like I said, state by state varies. Unfortunately, if you're in New York State like me, you're going to be paying extra like 6% or something like that. It's not fun at all. No one likes it. But unfortunately, it has to be done. And if you can find yourself in a state where you don't have to pay any income tax, that's huge. And you're going to save yourself a couple $1,000. So that's awesome. And obviously, like I said, file this. Look at these charts. If you're single, go here. If you're married, right here. So like I said, you can make a lot more money and pay less tax if you're married versus if you're single. But just watch this stuff, really look at it. And, if you're not making much money, the max you're only paying is 10%. So not bad. Something to think about because we have to pay it, unfortunately, even though no one teaches us how to pay taxes. We kind of just expected to do it. So, watch this video closely. Go back if you have to. Here's the links from these websites. It's called NerdWallet. If you guys want to look up that for yourselves and see how much you're going to have to pay. But, hey, if you're paying taxes on your gains, that's a good thing. That means you're making money. So congrats to you guys. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.